high octane,
high performance. Yeah, you know, it's how we rock, it's how we roll, man. Yeah, man. Great to have you here, man. Awesome
nice
stuff, man.
to be here.
So this is the guy who makes the show happen behind the scenes. I'm just the glue that puts it all together, you know.
so I basically baked the whole thing, and you just put in the front.
Well, that's when I come and cut the cake, you know. Sigale cake. Hey, my man, my feed. Oh my God, I'm sure you all got it out today. Clearly,
let's not go there.
But let's just leave that. Anyway, sticking with the program. Yeah, so coming up after football, we'll chat with Bonga Masoka.
Yeah.
He's a founder of Splash Africa. What an interesting story.
Interesting story, this one. I came to this guy on Twitter, I think. He basically just started a really amazing, I think one of 5 Black-owned paint manufacturing businesses in the whole of SA. And then he came about this because growing up, he really struggled to build a home for his mother.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Yeah. And then
one-room shack.
Yeah, and then you know the mother staying in
a
a one-room shack, and then this kind of inspired him to start a paint manufacturing company, which he now says, you know, he wants to make paint affordable, you know, for people, you know, like his mom couldn't afford it.
Look at me now.
Yeah.
Hey.
So this is a really interesting story. You'll be, you know, chatting to us about, you know, inspiration. We know it's his mother, but where does he see Splash Africa?
Yeah, moving forward, well, there's so much I've got to ask this guy, and you know, an interesting story. So stay tuned for that. Thereafter, at around 8 p.m. tonight, we're talking about Netflix, and I came across a meme the other day, and I shared it on social.
This one's been trending all through the week. Also.
Yeah, like this whole week was Netflix SABC license, and I read the article, and I'm like, no, man, seriously now, because I mean, before you'd get a knock on your door, hi, good day, I'm here from SABC. You need to pay your TV licenses, right?
Yeah.
Then you'd get a phone call from the SABC. Or a reminder in SMS.
Or something on your mail.
Yeah, an email.
Yeah.
Now we just no longer get communication. What's up, SABC? And then now we get bombarded with you're a DSTV subscriber, you're a Netflix subscriber.
Yeah. So,
but you see, there's a bigger picture to this. Because if you look
at the bigger picture,
if you look at the auctions, every currency has got satellite service
everywhere.
And they are looking at this with actuaries, come I tell you, because they're looking at numbers. This is a numbers game. Think of it as a salesman, my man. I'm telling you. But anyway,
well, you know sales more than I do. But anyway, you know, this is interesting because SABC also said they could also be soon launching their own online streaming services. And I wonder when people will actually subscribe.
I don't know if anyone's going to. But anyway, that's another talking point. But yeah, so coming up at 8 p.m., we talk to Jan Vermalen from My Broadband, a senior journalist there and contributor. We're talking about this whole Netflix subscriber story, and it's been making headlines for the week, irrespective of memes, etc. Let's be serious. Obviously, Netflix viewers have to pay TV licenses, and the SABC and DSTV subscribers. How does this affect you? Will you pay for this? Because obviously you're paying for your content. And many people are going to throw their arms and toys out of the car.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, why should I pay SABC TV license when I really watch any SABC content?
Now that was my argument. So, well, if you want to obviously join the discussion, you may do so, man. Send us a WhatsApp on 061766 0355. And obviously at 8 p.m., our Al Ansar viewers will cross over a bit later on as well out in KZN. Right thereafter, at around about 8:30 or so, we're then going to have the car talk segment. And we are going to be talking a whole different perspective here tonight. So obviously, having, looked at the whole week that's gone by, we're talking about buying cars on an auction. And I'm going to speak to Adam Ford in this regard versus obviously,
But basically, buying cars on auction versus buying cars from a dealership or from
now, there is a difference. But some people might prefer, buying cars in an auction. Some people prefer finance.
Here's an interesting stat, right? Yeah. Repossessed cars are being sold at discounts that can reach up to 78%.
Wow.
So that's
how true that is. I mean, 78% is a big.
This is a bargain, eh? It's a bargain. So we're going to be looking at that with motoring journalist Adam Ford.
Yeah, Adam Ford is going to give us all about that. And then after that, we'll obviously have the wrap up of the program at around 5 to 9 or so, inshallah. Anyway, having said that, 7 minutes after 7 p.m., we'll be back after this.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
It's time to act now. COVID-19 is a global pandemic and we need your help to flatten the curve. Islamic Relief is reaching out to the most vulnerable of our community in South Africa, Yemen and Gaza. 400 Rand can provide a family with a food pack in South Africa and 500 Rand a hygiene pack in Syria, Yemen and Gaza. With your help, we can save lives across the world. Donate now. Go to www.islamic-relief.org.za.
With over 80 years of experience, IG Hussein and Company are renowned for their quality Islamic wear and goods. IG Hussein and Company stock a variety of Islamic items, musallas, kitabs, Medina dates, perfumes and exclusive gifts. We guarantee you a unique and friendly shopping experience for the entire family. Visit our new branch in Overport at 202 Kenilworth Park, Brickfield Road. Open 7 days a week with ample parking and wheelchair friendly. Like us on Facebook or Instagram at IG Hussein for our latest promotions and updates. IG Hussein and Company, your Islamic lifestyle.
Every morning on every news flash, I hear the sorrow of the world. It seems like everybody's lost and scared, trying to make sense of it all. And as I travel to and fro, so many faces pass me by. I see lonely hearts living lonely lives, just biding their time. And while we call ourselves civilized, many people living empty lives as they drone their way through day and night. I pray for our world, I pray for every child. I pray for our world to be filled with smiles, like the colors of a rainbow, and not just black and white. I pray for our world to be filled with light. I pray for all of us to choose the path that's right. Believe in Allah every day of our lives. In the evening on the TV news, I see images of war. I see brother killing brother with no consequence at all. And while those who claim to be leaders sell us tales of deceit, but Allah alone knows in their hearts what they reveal and conceal. And while we call ourselves civilized, we go on killing human lives, too caught up in our web of lies. I pray for our world, I pray for every child. I pray for our world to be filled with smiles, like the colors of a rainbow, and not just black and white. I pray for our world to be filled with light. I pray for all of us to choose the path.
Okay, welcome back. It's now 12 minutes after 7 p.m. and time now obviously for our sports segment, and we're going to be chatting to Lenn Moleko in a moment or so.
Yeah.
Obviously the Dstv Premiership, man, kicks off again, and obviously the fixtures are looking quite impressive, man. Obviously we've got Bloemfontein Celtic taking on Golden Arrows, Baroka taking on Maritzburg United, Kaizer Chiefs,
the big one of the
Mamelodi. This is massive.
Yeah.
Amakosi taking on Mamelodi Sundowns, Cape Town City taking on Chippa United, Super Sport United taking on Black Leopards, Amazulu going up against Orlando Pirates. In interesting acquisitions.
Interesting acquisitions
Sifira
from
Shabalala, Tactics.
That's going to be an interesting one. Everyone knows Sifira Shabalala, famous for that 2010 World Cup goal. So he's coming back to join Amazulu.
Yeah.
It should be an interesting
Gonna
season,
be an awesome one.
seeing him back on the field. But going to be joined by one and only our favorite sports pundit here at Selaelo Media,
our own
Mr. Lenn Moleko.
Moleko. Take it away.
How's it, Lenn?
I'm good. Can't complain. All is well.
All is good. All is good. So the much anticipated DStv Premier League has finally arrived. It has blessed us with its presence. Firstly, what do you make of it? What are your expectations for the upcoming season? Do you think it's going to be an awesome one? Before we get into the fixtures that are upon us.
Yeah, definitely awesome is even an understatement because we saw how the last one ended. I mean, did you ever think that we would have it finished like we did, you know? There are, what I love about it, especially this time around, is how it's starting because you have the two guys that were going head to head for the league title the last time around, and they starting things off. And another
I want us to just jump right through it. I know you mentioning Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns there. Let's just get into it. Kevin Hunt, this is going to be what many would say this is going to be his first real challenge in Kaizer Chiefs colors. Do you think this is a real test, or the MTN 8 over the last weekend was his first challenge? And what is your scorecard on him? What do you give him? And also going to the league, how do you see him entering the ropes at Kaizer Chiefs?
Look, when it comes to badges, Kevin Hunt, definitely you can never doubt him. He's won the league with Super Sport United, so he knows how to make things work. The unfortunate part for him is the fact that he doesn't have, or he couldn't assemble a team that he wants, that plays his style of football. So think of it this way: if you were a Formula One driver and you were supposed to put or give in terms of a car that you drive, you are essentially walking into a car that is given to you the way it is, and you never had any input. So that is what Kevin Hunt is walking into.
Has there been any word though on the whole Chiefs and FIFA debacle? Can they sign before the window closes, or it's just going to be another season with them maybe recruiting from the development? What's word there?
Currently, there's still no word. They're waiting for the Court of Arbitration for Sport to make a decision on their case with FIFA, because they were handed a ban for doing any signing. So there's still no word thus far. So Gavin is working with what he has, and unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, obviously for Samir Novic, obviously we know he's injured currently, and he's been the Kaizer Chiefs marksman. I mean, he literally, I don't want to say he carried Kaizer Chiefs because, I mean, soccer is a 11-man sport.
Yeah, but he was a focal point last season for them. He had some really good numbers in assists. People criticize Chiefs upon how they play, with that aerial football, but it was a tactic and it worked until maybe the last game of the season.
I mean, look, if people are going to complain about how you win, win is win, because at the end of the day, when you look at the league table, they've got the 3 points, and that's just really what it is, you know.
Yeah, they contended right until the last day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if Gavin Hunt is able to utilize the Kaizer Chiefs players to sort of like mimic what he was able to do with Bitford Fred, then you've got a Kaizer Chiefs that is like real proper title challenges. And I think on the face of it, that is what they are. I don't think Gavin Hunt is the kind of person who will go into a title challenge and do the bare minimum. He's going to go into it and then he's going to give it his all. So I think Kaizer Chiefs are there and thereabouts. Count them as title challenges for the league because they do have the players. They do have the likes of Kamabilia. I see that Itimel Nkune is breaking the mix right now.
Yeah.
So it's I think they've got the potential to be the real deal. So I don't think we should discard them as yet because they do have the players.
Yeah.
They do have the manager. And they can challenge the title.
Speaking of challenges, let's speak about the champions now. Mamelodi Sundowns. I want to share a bit about their coaching structure. The three wise men, as they call them in Mangoba Mngwiti, Kompela, and Rulani. What do you make of that? We saw them losing MTN 8, their first defeat. That was our first glimpse of the three wise men in action. So far, what do you make of that coaching combination?
Look, upon inception, it looked very weird.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, but if you look at it and you evaluate it to its full extent, you've got Erulani who's worked with Sundowns, went as far as to win the Champions League with them, and now he's in the mix at Sundowns again. He went to the Pyramids. You've got a Mangoba who's obviously been there at Sundowns. He's won basically everything that Coach Pito Musimane has also won.
Yeah.
And then you've got a Coach Steve Kompela who showed that he is the real deal. It is unfortunate at the time when he was at Kaizer Chiefs that he couldn't get any silverware to show for his hard work, you know.
And with maybe most people thinking maybe these are three men who have been head coaches of really big clubs in the country. Rulani with Pirates, Mangoba Mngwiti was successful with Golden Arrows. Steve Kompela has been around, national team coach. Won't there be a clash of egos and all of them wanting to get their own ideas out there because they've worked elsewhere and those ideas have yielded results for them. What do you make of that? Do you think they are mature and professional enough to kind of say we are all equals as coaches, although according to Sundowns the buck stops with Mangoba Mngwiti?
You can argue that should have been the case when Pito was working with both Rulani and Mangoba. None of that happened.
Yeah.
Rulani left. He came back, and Sundowns went on to eclipse Kaizer Chiefs to win the league. So, where egos are involved, I think the three gentlemen know their stance. I think the chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns has laid out what their responsibilities are, and I think more than anything, it's a case of if you are a coach of a team, whether you are an assistant coach or you're a joint coach or you are a first team coach, or you want to do well, you want to win trophies. Unfortunately, they fell flat against Bloem Celtic in the MTN 8, but also let's give credit to Bloem Celtic. Bloem Celtic have been a very formidable team. I think they were one of the best.
Brilliant.
Yes, they were one of the best teams during the bio bubble when the season was being completed last year. So they didn't lose because they're functioning with 3 coaches that have egos. They lost because they were playing against a very formidable team.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. So a lot of people will say, yes, there's 3 coaches there, egos. No, I think the 3 gentlemen are mature. They know what their ambitions are, and they want to take. I remember the words of Coach Steve Kompelas saying that the pressure that they have now is they have to go beyond what Coach Peter Musimani did. And they understand that mandate. So in them understanding that mandate, if they're going to have egos and clashes within the coaching staff, then they will not achieve that mandate.
Bold statement and mandate that they set here for themselves. But let's wrap this one up. How do you see it going down? Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, who's taking it?
I'll give my money to Sundowns. I don't know why. But I just feel that Sundowns have a point to prove, more especially because it looks like the MTN 8 is not really their thing. But when it comes to the league, they really are up for it. They really want to go for title number 11. And all the 3 gentlemen, yes, Rulani has won a title with Sundowns before. Mangoba has done it. Coach Steve Kompela hasn't. And he wants to be in that mix. And you look at the business that they did in the transfer window is probably like, I think, one of the craziest, because they basically got all the good players from, be it Highlands Park, be it Bidvest, be it wherever. So I'll give it to Sundowns.
Yeah. I want us now to look to another interesting key picture. You have Orlando Pirates against Amazulu. Many people calling Orlando Pirates Bidvest 2.0. What do you make of that?
The situation with Amazulu is very interesting.
Yeah.
More especially with the signings that they've recently done. You've got Yeye there, you've got Vuyo Mamela there, who was very instrumental.
Also.
Sorry, I meant to say Shaba, not Yeye.
Yeah.
Yeye is at TS Galaxy. Yeah. You've got Simpiwe Shabalala there, you've got Vuyo Mamela there, and all the other players that were there, new owners, and all of that. So
now,
I think
Len, I want to just jump in here for a sec. Why do you think maybe Simpiwe Shabalala didn't decide to go back to Amakosi? Once upon a time, he did say he envisioned retiring at Amakosi, but just something that just crossed my mind while we talked about this. Fantastic.
Yeah.
they could have been under the auspice of wanting to sign, but obviously they are not allowed to do any signings currently.
Yeah.
And also Amazulu, financially, they've got the muscle. They've just recently been by a new owner who has like big ambitions, and he wants to be counted amongst some of the best managers in the league. So he was probably like, let me take advantage of the situation. I mean, we take the situation of Lukuno Mimela. He was offered a contract extension around the Pirates, but he opted against that to go to Amazulu. So obviously, in those kind of negotiations, it means that either Amazulu offered more money, and they offered more money.
So, that's about it.
That's pretty much about it. So
yeah,
I think that's the case. You've got an ambitious manager, you've got an ambitious chairman, who wants his team to do well, and I think that's pretty much the situation of why Saba went to Amazulu, because he could have easily gone to Chiefs. I mean, he was out of a club for the whole season last year. I mean, for the whole of last season. Chiefs did not want to sign him because they didn't sign him. And Amazulu comes in. There's a new chairman who says, "Hey, I've got the money. I want your services."
Yeah.
And boom, that's what you have. I mean, it's the same situation at TS Galaxy as well. It's the same situation at Morocco Swallows as well. You've got managers or chairmen who are ambitious and they want to win things. and that's why they signed the people that they're signing. I mean, you look at what's happening at Swallows. I mean, they bought the likes of he was at Highlands Park, the name escapes me now, and so many other players from so many other PSL teams. So it's the whole notion of saying that we're going to play second fiddle to Sundowns, Chiefs, and Pirates, maybe SuperSport United to a certain degree, is gone. Now, all these other managers are saying, you know what, we can challenge the league, we'll buy the best players, and let's go and see what happens. I mean, look at a club like Maritzburg United, for instance.
Yeah.
Eric Tinkler has gone out and he's managed to gather a very decent team. And truth be told, Kaizer Chiefs were very lucky to win against Maritzburg United in the MTN 8 last weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of, managers who have, huge hopes and expectations and ambitions for the upcoming season, I want us to chat a bit about Orlando Pirates. Their manager, or the club, has made really interesting signings this season. The likes of Sukamanja coming in, Tessin Hlatswayo, Dion Hoto, a lot of them coming from Bidvest West. What do you make of that? And also the captaincy issue we saw in the MTN 8 first match there against Cape Town City. Hlatswayo had heartburned on. So do you think this might be something we might be seeing during the course of the season, or it was just for that particular game?
Look, as a coach, you're always going to maneuver your troops the way you see them fit. And I think in this case, there's a lot of people who are reading too much into something that is not there. It was a case of Coach Zinbawa saying, you know what, let me give Hlatswayo a run as captain, because I want to make him my standing captain, for instance. Happy Jele is still very much the captain of Orlando Pirates, and maybe it was a fitness issue. And I mean, if you have the national team captain who is a defender on your book, who would you rather start with? But having said that, let's not think that what Pirates is doing is demoting Happy Jele to become the second fiddle to Lenn Moleko, because Happy Jele is still very much the captain of Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, and you make a very interesting point there, and I think that looking at the way Pirates and their ambitions are for the season, and will they get ready as a team? Many people were thinking otherwise, but I think in essence they will definitely come together as a team. Lenn, in conclusion, man, this weekend's fixtures, right? Obviously, we know that this weekend is a big weekend. Obviously, Kaizer Chiefs taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. We've got obviously Baroka against Maritzburg United, Amazulu taking on Orlando Pirates. What's your predictions, man?
Indeed, as mentioned, I want to add one feature that I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
is Stellenbosch FC taking on Morocco Swallows.
Yes,
excited because Morocco Swallows are making Swallows FC. Yeah. They finally back, despite them coming back under a new name. One interesting fixture, also given some of the transfers that they've made. After with Chiefs, Sundowns, like I said, I think Sundowns will take it. Amazulu versus Pirates. Pirates have finally sorted out a lot of ailments in the starting 11, with a lot of Sukamanja, Dion Hoto coming in, and Tulane Hlatswayo coming in. But Amazulu as well have gone to the market and they have acquired players.
Some good acquisitions.
And you've got like Luvuyo Mamela, for instance, who knows Orlando Pirates. He played for Orlando Pirates. He was a very integral part of Orlando Pirates finishing where they finished last season.
Yes.
So that one I'm going to give a draw.
So you reckon there's a draw there? Okay.
That one I'm going to give a draw. Because when I look at both teams, for me, they cancel each other out. You mentioned, the other interesting fixture is PS Galaxy.
Yeah.
Supersport Black Leopards, Supersport should easily get a victory. Steve Compella is not there anymore, unfortunately. Mandla Nikija, I think that his surname has to be corrected. He is the head coach now. But Supersport, they've shown formidable team. They were one of the best teams during the bio bubble. Supersport should easily get a victory in that match. So the other match that I was saying is going to be very interesting is TS Galaxy taking on TTM. We saw the comedy show that TTM was last weekend, where they had only 3 subs on their team sheet. I think TTM is going to struggle this season. I don't think when they bought the Bidvest status, they knew what they were getting themselves into. They now realizing the extent. Yes, they've bought some pretty good players. The Augustine Mulengas of this world and Molongwanes of this world, but I don't think they are necessarily ready from a management point of view, because you know the old saying that a fish rots from their head.
Len, what about Cape Town City and Chippa United? What do you make of that?
Cape Town City, look, also one of the best teams out of the bio bubble.
Yeah.
Chippa United, we all know they've got ailments here and there, but with Coach Ronaldo Siema there, he looks like he's trying to settle the ship, but without a doubt, I'm going to give it to Cape Town City, because they also did some pretty decent business during the transfer window.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Well, hey, let's look forward to this weekend's football action domestically. Obviously, the DStv Premiership obviously kicks off and gets underway. Len, thank you so much for your time tonight. As always, contributing, bringing your wealth of experience to the show. And obviously, there's so much to talk about. There was Champions League, but we leave that for next week. We'll catch up on that. Obviously, the next fixtures are on the 27th of this month, where obviously the likes of Lokomotiv Moscow and Bayern Munich obviously clash, and Inter Milan, Shakhtar Donetsk, that's on Tuesday, the 27th as well, and also Porto Olympiacos, Atalanta Ajax. Len, there's so much to talk about, but time doesn't permit. We'll catch up on that next week. Thank you for your time once again, man. Have an awesome weekend.
Definitely, and my money is on Barcelona for their classic.
Well, Friday we'll see. Barcelona, Messi and Ronaldo going up head to head. That's obviously 10 p.m. on the 28th. And we have an awesome weekend, man. Take care. We'll chat.
All right, cool stuff. Thank you.
All right, that's obviously football pundit and contributor to the program, Lenn Moleko, talking to us. We were chatting about the DStv Premiership, which is kicking off domestically tomorrow. And anyway, having said that, 35 minutes after 7 p.m., time for a quick ad break. And when we come back, we are going to be talking to Bonga Masoka, who's the founder of Splash Africa. What an awesome story he's got. Stay tuned. Keep it locked to Selaelo Media.